I'm Brianna.
And I'm Elise. We're sisters. And this is Chit-Chat and Cheers.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Me. You. Okay. I'm keeping up, man. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is Chit Chat and Cheers, and I'm Brianna.
And I'm Elise.
And that's Elise. Yeah. We're back.
Sorry
It's
for
been
our
a little
extended
bit.
hiatus.
Yes, we had another mini hiatus. But you know what? Life happens, and the Easter holidays were here. You had mom and dad visiting. Just stuff was happening.
Yeah, John's dad stayed with us for a few weeks.
How was that?
It was good. The kids loved having Claire here. He's been through a lot this year medically, and so he was a bit deconditioned, and I think my kids put him through the ringer, but
poor Claire
he survived.
What are you drinking tonight? First off,
I am drinking cheap sparkling. I stopped at a gas station on the way home.
You are a classy lady. I've always said this, and I will continue to say it. You are classy.
She's a classy broad.
I am drinking double fruited jam smoothie ale with red raspberry, tart cherry, and black currant.
I see, it looks like a pretty color.
It's like super thick. It's almost like a
soup.
Kind of, yeah. Like
we can
like
talk
if you'd taken...
and not talk for hours. We talk about soup. Have you seen Best in Show?
God. Yeah.
That's what So if you haven't, it's not funny at all.
Before I hit record, you said you had exciting news. What's your exciting news?
So they had fine arts night at the school. What day was that? Tuesday. I have been a complete discombobulated mess, by the way. So Sloan has speech usually on Mondays. This Monday she had an after school event because some little girls won something at the auction and Sloan got to go. So we moved speech to Tuesday. I didn't realize she also had an after school activity for the same little girl who won another thing on Tuesday. So I had to cancel speech. I go to Carline to pick her up for speech, and literally it's just Blair. And I was like, "Where's your sister?" She goes, "Oh, she had that pizza thing." And I was
just didn't show up.
Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Like, I'm out, Mom.
So I had to call the speech place and pay the fee and apologize. And then I was like, "Blair, what do you want to do?" Because I was like, I'm not prepared to do something special with Blair. And she's like, "Let's go do that painting thing you did." And I was like, "Yeah, you have to have reservations for that. Can't do it." So I just took her to Hobby Lobby and let her pick something out. She had the time of her life.
That works. Does she get upset when like if Blair gets to do something and Sloan doesn't, or vice versa? Did they get upset?
She's not upset that Sloan gets to do something, but in her mind, everything has to be fair. Does that make sense? So she's like, well, if Sloan got to do something, I need to do something, even if it's different. Yeah. And so that's like when Sloan did the baseball night, I took her and we did board and brush at home. And that was fine. But anyway, so I'm so bad at checking my personal email because I'm in my work email all day. And so
yeah, it's the last thing you want to do.
Blair gets home and she's like, "Well, we're going to fine arts night." And I was like, skirt, what? I'm sorry, what is that? So it was fine arts night. And she made it sound like we could just go in and look at her art. Oh no, like we get in and there's like a band and a choir. And I was like, oh, we're not doing this for 2 hours. Sorry.
Production.
And so they were like, you can just go see her stuff. And so all the kids in first grade had done a picture of the cross on Calvary and they had put it up. It was beautiful. It was great. Sloan's was lovely. But Blair has been working on this portrait of Mother Mary since November. And she
seriously?
Yeah. So she finally, they make her do other stuff too, but she's been on and off working on it. And the art teacher has had to help her learn how to draw like the hands. And she showed me the statue that at school that she based it off of. And first off, I just think her teacher is so phenomenal because he may have put her cross on Calvary up. I don't know. But in the middle of all of these crosses on Calvary is her portrait of Mother Mary.
Wow.
And so, and she worked, I think it's really well done. Of course I didn't take a picture of it, but
I was going to say, I want to see a picture.
But it's so well done. And I feel bad because I throw so much of their stuff away. And Sloan said she had something she had worked really hard on that ended up in the trash. And so I'm really glad that I didn't make that same mistake with this one because the next night after she brought it home, she was like, "Oh, Mr. K wants to put it in the art show. I need that back." So she took it back, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if you'd thrown that away?
And so anyway, so that was great. She was like, she felt very like validated. Like, I worked so hard on this. And Sloan gets to do all these like
good.
things because she's got closer friends, I think, than Blair does. But Blair, like, art is like becoming kind of Blair's thing.
She's after my heart.
So it gets better. Today, we got an email from her principal who said that one of the fathers from the church we go to was at the school for a meeting, and he saw her picture and has asked permission to put it on the bulletin of the church.
Oh wow!
With her name and age. And like we go to a huge Catholic church. Like there's thousands of people that go to this church. I think. If I'm wrong, sorry guys. But I'm just I feel like so good for her because you worry like Sloan's getting invited to do all this stuff but like she's finding her own little place. So
yay! Oh, good job, Blair Bear.
I didn't even read the email until like 8:40, so she's already in bed, so she doesn't even know about it.
Oh, that's gonna be such a fun thing to tell her tomorrow morning.
And like I'm like,
good for her.
I told all my friends, it's like when you see it, you grab all the bulletins you can at mass.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I want to send me one. I want to see it. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm really proud of her. So
you should be. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's a little Brianna in the making.
Yeah. Yes. For those of you who don't know, I live a double life. I actually went to college for fine arts with a concentration in paint and printmaking and a minor in art history. And now I work in finance. So
she was one of the top 40 under 40.
I was once upon a time. That was like what?
2 or 3 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. So, you know, I'm very right.
You're
brain left
40.
brain
You got time
situation.
to make it again, girl.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, that sounds exhausting. Honestly, that was the most stressful process I've ever gone through because I tend to struggle with imposter syndrome. Do you know what that is?
Oh, I have it too.
You heard of that?
Every day.
So I do struggle with that quite a bit. And for the 40 under 40, I had to be interviewed by like a reporter who did like a little write up on me. And I just was really anxious about it. Like that I was going to get published in this magazine and then everyone was going to know that I didn't actually deserve it and I was a fake and da-da-da-da. Like you could ask Christopher, I was an absolute wreck. Afterwards, I was having like a panic attack about it. It was not an enjoyable process for me, to be honest. But I'm glad, like it's a great accolade, and I'm so thankful and glad that I got it and was nominated and won. But it was very stressful for someone who I don't know just struggles with that.
Well, like you've also never been like a huge like you're not necessarily hiding in the wings, but like you've never like actively sought the limelight.
Yeah, I've always described myself as that. I don't mind doing it. Mm-hmm. Like if I have to get up and talk in front of people or present, like I don't mind doing it, but I definitely don't crave it like some people do. So that's probably a good place to be. But I'm definitely not going to be seeking to be published in a newspaper anytime soon.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't mind like leading a staff meeting, but the nurse manager, like, and I do like to be like the life of the party. If I'm at a party, like I don't necessarily have to be like up on stage, but I like being able to like be candid and funny. But my nurse manager lights up when she's teaching or presenting. And so I'm just like, girl, you go for it at the staff meetings. Those are all you.
Yeah. Some people are just meant to do that. I don't know. I find no greater pleasure than being at a party and just executing a perfect Irish goodbye. That is like self-care to me. I love it. Just leaving a party, not saying goodbye to anybody, just fading off whenever I'm ready to go. I just go. And it literally like fills my soul with happiness of like, I'm just gonna go.
I love that for you.
Great. I love that for you.
I don't have.
So I feel like we have not. Well, I mean, like we've talked like you and I, but we haven't podcasted since before Easter, right?
Yeah, well before Easter. Have we podcasted since I got back from Hawaii?
Yes,
okay,
we have.
Since I talked about it on one of them.
Yeah, we talked about that. How was your Easter for all of our listeners?
Well, the Woodsides made the 7 a.m. mass.
That's pretty good. That's impressive.
I got there 15 minutes early, and it was still standing room only, so that was fun. And then, knowing the Woodside children, as you all are coming to know, they of course found a receptionist desk that was supposed to be vacant and sat there and were playing on the phone. until the security guard from the school saw us, took pity on my soul, and stood so that the kids and I could sit.
Oh, that was nice of
It
him. I
was.
mean, what else are you gonna do
We all squished in
at
together,
mass?
but then his wife was sobbing through the entire mass because it was like in memory of her
Hey.
mother who had passed away the year before. So like the girls were like,
Oh,
"Mommy, why is Mr. Mark's wife crying so much?" And I was like, "It's okay."
oh dear.
But eventually we all squinched in together and we were next to this other older couple and Blair is like laying on the bench, feet wherever. And I'm like apologizing. And the one finally grabs my hand. She goes, "Stop apologizing. I miss these days." And she looked at Blair and she goes, "You put your feet right here." So Blair's like lounging on the woman next to us at mass. And I'm just like, they go to Catholic
Oh
school.
my
They know they're
gosh.
supposed to behave. But
So we had this exact same situation. We go to mass every week. We go to the 8:15 service, and normally it's like half empty, and so we just take up an entire row in the back, and like the kids can kind of like
spread out.
spread out a little bit. Yeah, but obviously with Easter it was crazy packed, and thank goodness everyone who sat around us either also had young children or similar to you was like an old biddy who just thought it was like
The cutest
adorable
thing
and precious.
ever.
Yeah, and meanwhile I'm like having like a
I don't
meltdown
even.
of like
I just remember also too. So mass is like for those of you who aren't Catholic, mass is supposed to be an hour. You get in, you stand, you sit, you kneel, you sing, you take the
you have a
Eucharist.
snack.
Yeah, Blair. That was one of my favorite memories. Is the first time like we started regularly going when we moved here because Blair was old enough to remember. She goes, "How do I get one of those crackers?" But the priest that spoke at Easter he's a young priest. He's probably younger than me. He's one of my favorites, but he was inspired by God because the 7 a.m. mass, which should have been let out at 8 so that those coming to the 9 a.m. mass could have the parking lot, didn't let out until like 8:20.
My man.
People were coming in like panicking that they had missed their ability to find a seat for the 9 a.m. mass. So we went to the 9 a.m. mass last year and it was like people were standing outside. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so it was
just like, my guy,
Father,
let's move it along.
We gotta go. I gotta heat up.
We got creasters here and we gotta get through the Eucharist. Let's move it along.
We were at the kids had their school fundraiser last weekend and it did look fabulous if I say so myself. I think my hair is still recovering from all the product. But
they do in Texas, right?
Yeah, it was
big hair.
So humid and we've had so much rain. I curled it this morning and I really shouldn't have. I should have just worn it up. But yes, but the bigger the hair, the closer to God. So we are talking and this guy is so irritated about Easter Mass. He's like, "No, but we need our punch cards. If you go to Mass regularly, you get a punch. And when you have enough punch cards, you're the people they let in first. The other guys who only show up for Easter and Christmas, they can stand in the back."
Dude, that's literally not what this is about at all.
But it was real funny. I was kind of like, I feel like that too. Like I go regularly and like for me to get there even earlier than we normally do and it'd be like standing room only. And then it irritates the boogers out of me. Like we're those people who we like wait until the priest leaves, right? And then you finish the song and you go.
So do we.
Everybody else who gets the Eucharist and goes, I'm like, half the congregation is gone before we even
I know.
get to the announcements.
I hate that because I just feel like it's a little bit disrespectful to like the priest and stuff. Like you can't wait.
It's rude.
10 more minutes. I know. I'm there with you.
Sorry if you're one of those hilarious people. We have opinions.
I'm judging you silently from the pew. My kids also love to drop the kids off the pool, if you know what I mean, at Mass. Literally every week we go to Mass, and then I have missed Eucharist because they both have to go to the bathroom, and I'm in there going like, guys, let's go, move it along.
I think I told you about when I went to get ashes on Ash Wednesday. Something happened at work, and so I couldn't make my regular church, but there's a church right up the road from where I go that's also one of the parish schools for our school. And I got there like 10 minutes late, maybe 15. And I was like, okay, it's okay. It's going to be a Mass. I can get in. Oh no, they were like serious about it. They were leaving as I was parking. Like they were.
Yeah, for on Ash Wednesday.
Yeah. So, but
those Masses are short.
Well, I walked in and the priest looked at me. He goes, "You're late too. Get in line." And there was like a line of like 4 or 5 people who he gave ashes to after the Mass.
Oh my gosh.
So I thought that was funny.
We went to the confession last weekend because this past Sunday was Mercy Sunday. So, we go to confession before that. And we took the kids with us. Normally, historically, we leave them in the car. One of us will go in, do confession, while the other one sits in the car with them, and then we'll flip-flop, just because it's a lot for them to sit there and when it's quiet and, not be destructive. But this year, like, they're probably old enough. We can take them. We took, like, stuff for them to do or whatever. We set them down in a pew. And, of course, all hell broke loose, like, the instant they sat down. They didn't want to do the snacks and the games that we'd brought for them. They wanted to run around. Luke kept trying to open up the confession doors and, like, peek in. He's like, what are they doing in there? I'm like, get away from there!
Your turn!
People are spilling their darkest secrets to the priest. Get away!
If I was a priest, I think I'd just have, like, popcorn on the other side and be like, go on.
Then what happened? My gosh.
Your penance is to come back next week and tell me how it went.
Right? Don't leave me on a cliffhanger. Don't leave me.
I'm a terrible priest. Mostly because I'm a woman, but other reasons too.
Oh my god. I feel like I have so much to tell you because we haven't sat down and talked, but so as you know, the Pope passed the day after Easter, which,
we're having the Pope draft. I'm so excited.
I know. I was like, so excited. Conclave is so exciting. And it's so funny to me because, like, people who, like, aren't Catholic at all are getting, like, into it and excited. And there's this guy on TikTok. I'll have to send him to you. God, I have to look up his name up just in case someone's listening. So this guy is doing this series where he's talking about the conclave and the different popes, but he's talking to them about them in a way that they're, like, desperate housewives, like Real Housewives style.
That's really funny.
So he's going through all the different popes. Oh god, it's so funny.
I definitely need to send that to my mom. I'm sending you the one we watched. It's like a football game, and the wife walks in, she's like, are you doing the fantasy draft? He's like, no, it's the Pope draft. It's great.
The Pope draft. Okay, the guy on TikTok, his name is Rob Anderson. I'll send it to you, but he's hilarious. But no, I am so excited. May 7th, I think, is when it starts, isn't it?
I don't know off the top of my head, yeah.
So I'm so excited.
We'll have to we should have a Pope. Oh, we could have a live Pope draft.
A Pope off, if you will. Pope off!
For those of you who are really attuned listeners, we're going to be having a in-person live podcast in June.
I know! I'm so excited. Did you book your flights yet?
No, I need to do that.
Yes.
John just bought luggage. He's traveling so much for this job. I mean, he's like gone all of next week, and then he's gone 4 days the week after.
Dang.
So it's fine.
Yeah, that's another good exciting thing. Your husband got a new job.
He is. We are gainfully employed again. I am now the chief nursing officer of 2 hospitals instead of 1. Slowly losing my hair and my sanity. It's fine.
It's
only until the end.
Who needs those things?
The end of June, beginning of July. So
you got this.
I'll go back to being a real girl.
I'm a real girl. But no, you are coming with John and the kids in June. I sent you a whole long
I run
email of like
I think that
potential things to do.
The tower thing with whatever that museum or whatever you said that we could do the same day, the same place. That sounds good. And then I wanted to do the one at Navy Pier, the Children's Museum.
Yeah,
I thought that
for sure.
would be fun,
so we can do
they could walk around and see. Do.
There's a decent amount of stuff to like walk around and see at the Navy Pier. There's like shops and there's the big Ferris wheel, the Children's Museum. There's like a big.
Has been obsessed with the idea of a Ferris wheel.
Oh, it's huge. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it. It's like really, really big.
It'll be great. So John can sit with them both, and I'll sit with you, and we can have beers.
Huzzah! I love it. And I did confirm the architectural tour boats do in fact have an open bar. Well, not open bar. You have to pay for it, but they have a bar.
I am even more excited about Chicago.
There's a bar on the boat. One last little fun update for our listeners, and then we can actually talk about what we came here to talk about.
But you don't even know what it is.
Well, I mean, they probably read the title of the episode. Or no, maybe you just like freeballed and clicked on something and you don't even know what you're listening to.
You have made a very good choice, my friend. Although I don't think John is prepared to do, what is it? Comment quarter? What do we call it?
Oh, corrections
couch. I don't think he's prepared to do that today. So next time.
I completely forgot about that bit, so that's out the window. He's lost his opportunity.
You are out of luck, sir.
Is he over there?
No, he's in his office. He has his headphones on. He can't hear me. He also doesn't know that I opened champagne, so it's fine.
Oops.
It's not really champagne. It's Corbel. It's not. It's not anything super exciting.
Let's be for real. It's not champagne.
It's not. But it was $12 and it gets the job done.
Sorry.
Oh, that's the sound I make all the time. It does sound fun. Can you please do one of those like and then come back? But the rainbow lines.
I forgot to put the wait. I have like sandbags that I put on my microphone stands that I forgot to put on.
Clamp it to the counter and hope that it doesn't move.
Well, mine's just on mine's like on a tripod because I don't have anything to clamp it to because I'm sitting in my basement on the ground. Like a
Which
hobo.
is where I'll be sleeping when I come in June, so it's going to be great.
No, you're not. You're going to be sleeping up here. Your kids are going to be sleeping on the ground.
Yes. I think I'm just going to... Nora has one of those unicorn sleeping bags, right?
We've got 2.
You have 2? So like they could just borrow. I don't need to bring mine?
No, you can borrow. We have 2. Actually, technically, we've got a shark one, too. So if one of your girls wants to get crazy and be a shark instead of a unicorn, they can. What was I going to say?
Why do you have 2 unicorns?
Because the last time you guys came up.
Oh, you bought another one. That's right. I remember.
Yeah. Were both the girls with you?
Mm-hmm. Well,
they were,
time
right?
we came up, we slept in your room. And then the next time we came, Chris was still there. Because like the first time we came up, I think you slept in Nora's room. I don't remember. But like we slept in your room one time. And then the next time we came.
Yeah. That time we got is because we got 2, another unicorn sleeping bag because that time.
Yes. Because us all really sleeping in one bed did not go well. We went to Costco the next day.
Well, we have a really tall bed. Like it's literally when I was pregnant with my children, I had to put a step stool at the base of the bed to climb into bed because it was so tall. It's like, I don't know, waist height. It's like super high. And the girls were probably...
They were probably not 2.
What, maybe...
Was Nora alive?
No, they were older than that.
You had that.
Yeah, Nora she was alive. They were probably like 4, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Like 4 or 5. And you were afraid they were going to roll out of the bed. So you literally...
Right? Was that the time we came in winter and like we all played in the snow?
Yeah, it was winter.
They were probably
they saw snow and it had snowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you literally like piled pillows up on either side of the bed in case they rolled out of the bed.
And they would like literally twist and flip sideways. And I was like, I should just sleep on the floor at this point.
You're like, I hate this.
Yeah. Here he comes. It's Corrections Corner. No, he says bye. Going.
Absolutely not. No, Nora lost her first tooth.
Yay!
Last weekend. I'm so excited. She was so.
What did the tooth fairy bring her?
Excited. So the tooth fairy brought $5 bill, which I was bedazzled, like with stickers and stuff.
Oh, so it's not usable.
No, it is usable. We just need to peel the stickers off. She's already spent it, so. And then Chris growing up always got $50 coins,
mm-hmm.
and so that was important to him to continue that. He's like, I specifically went out and got a bunch of $50 coins, so I have a bunch
for when his children lose teeth.
What?
For when his children lose teeth, or he bought it, like went and got it after Nora lost it?
No, well, I think after Nora. I think, well, she had a wiggly tooth for like
so he went and did
a week
it
or 2.
Then, not like it wasn't like when you got pregnant. He was like, I'm getting a bunch of $50 coins.
Oh no.
It's like, wow, proactive.
He went and got them within the last couple days. So we did that, and then I wrote a little note to her about so excited for your first tooth, and then I found these little mini glass jars at Hobby Lobby. I think they're supposed to be for dollhouses, but they're like literally like an inch tall, and I put glitter in there and then like super glued it closed with a little stopper, and it was like, oh, it's fairy dust. Aww. For good luck. So she's been carrying that around, but
our tooth fairies
kind of similar to what?
My tooth fairies are cheap.
Your tooth fairy is hilarious.
Our tooth fairy is hilarious.
I told Mom about Tina, the tooth fairy, and her escapades, and she's just really bad at her job. And I have not heard Mom laugh that hard in a while. She thought that was really funny. She's like, you should make that into a children's book.
It is a children's book, Mom. That's where I got, well, sort of. Mortina, the supervisor, is from a children's book. Tina was just the day that Mom... Tina's a hot bag.
Tina's special.
Tina is when you forget that your child lost a tooth until 5 o'clock in the morning, and you realize, fudge, I got to do something, and you steal money out of their piggy bank to put under their pillow.
You honestly, you should write that character as a children's book that parents can read to their children as an excuse for, like, I'm sure every parent has done that exact same thing of messing up and like, oh wait, it's just Tina, the tooth fairy.
The best part is even when I try to make like the tooth fairy stuff really interesting, if it ends up messed up. Like one time I thought so our tooth fairy always gives 4 quarters and a note, and it comes in like some sort of bag, like a little gossamer bag. And I bought a bunch of like plain white gossamer bags, but like when I colored them with permanent markers, it's like getting real creative. One time I was like, ooh, I'll burn it so it looks like it's singed. Well, apparently it melts. And so then I tried to fix it, and it looked even worse. So Tina's note basically said that she made the mistake of flying through the desert on her way to drop off the bag, and that's why the bag was burnt. But the
Tina.
girls will just be like, oh, Tina. One time I actually only left 3 quarters instead of 4. And we had to like dig around. I'm like, oh, thank God Tina's the one who left this, not Mort. Because when Mort does it, it goes right. The first 2 teeth that everybody lost, Mort was in charge. But then she got this apprentice, and we try to let her fly solo every so often, and it just doesn't go well. Ever.
Tina is just a hot mess. I feel like I have such a visual image of like what she looks like, just like hair askew,
a little bit overweight,
frazzled.
Yes, that's Tina.
Oh, Tina. But going back to what you originally were talking about in terms of everything being equal and fair, the night before, Luke was going on and on about like, oh, the tooth fairy's coming. What am I going to get? I'm like, buddy, you're not getting anything.
You lost no teeth.
You have lost no teeth. 0.0 teeth. And I could tell it was going to cause issues. So I was like, I'm just going to write him a note.
Yeah.
And so I wrote him a note in the same style I wrote Nora one that's like, Luke, I'm so excited to come back for your first tooth. Da, 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 da. And that satiated him. But I'm like, I'm not dealing with the meltdown in the morning of, why did not
Did you save her first tooth?
Yeah, I still have it.
Girl, I have like a collection of teeth upstairs, and I don't know who's belonged to who. And John,
isn't that kind of creepy to think about?
Every time
like,
John sees him, he's like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like, well, I can't throw away now. I don't know what to do.
It's a human remain. What do I do with it?
Sloane's first tooth, I think I told you this. She had the super wiggly front tooth. Maybe it was her bottom tooth. I don't remember. Super wiggly. There's this one. Super wiggly tooth. And she was brushing her teeth, and it fell down the drain. And John literally walked in and goes, well, tooth fairy knows. You'll be all right. And I was like,
absolutely not.
I'm not handy. Mama took down the U part of the sink. The inside of pipes are disgusting, by the way.
Yeah.
But I found the tooth. I'm a good mom.
High water. I got it. Yay. You are a good mom. You absolutely are a good mom. My gosh.
You know what I should do is they save their tooth fairy. They don't ever spend their tooth fairy money. I literally have like 20 of these little bags running around with a note and teeth and like 4 quarters in them. I'm gonna like collect them all, and maybe I'll turn that into my book.
So Nora ran out and spent hers the next day. She was like, "Can we go to Walgreens?" Like, sure,
my kids went Target.
So, but to her credit, I was fully expecting her to struggle with what she can purchase with $5, but she found these little like Barbie trinket things that were on sale for $2 each, and she was like, I'm gonna get one. I'm like, okay, and then you'll have this much money left. And as we're walking out, she runs back and gets 2. She's like, I think I need 2.
Girl after my own heart.
She paid for both of them, and she had like 60-some cents, and she took it, and she's like, okay, this is going into the piggy bank when I get home.
Good for her.
She's such a good little like saver. She spends a little, saves a little.
And I keep seeing myself take a drink with my beautifully done nails. I never have my nails done.
Those do look nice. I gave up on my nails. I had a spurt there where I was trying to do gels, and then I tried to do press-ons, and then I just damaged them a lot, and I'm like, all right.
I can't do dip anymore. I love the way it lasts forever, and I like the way it looks, but like, because I type so much, I have this like weird nerve ending in my left thumb that when I hit the space bar typing, which you and I learned how to type in like junior high. Like I'm not going to break that habit. It like sends like shocks up my arm and like makes me feel really terrible. And when I have dip nails on, because they get so long, it makes it 100 times worse. And so I can only do gel now, which I love the way they look, and I don't mind my nails being short, but like just it's hard on them and they peel. And
I know, I'm so envious of people who have long, beautiful nails because I want them, but I cannot function with long nails.
They start to hurt almost.
they do and like the typing and just like I know people who have them just like adapt and like they just change the way they do things, but I think I'm giving up on that dream.
Someday we'll win the lottery and be ladies who lunch, and then our nails will always look lovely.
A lady of leisure, if you will. One day.
Someday.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway. Okay. We are here to discuss very serious topics. You asked me what we should do for this week, and I said, I don't feel like doing anything serious. I want to do something lighthearted. So I turned to the most professional of resources, that is BuzzFeed, which is, as anyone knows, a peer-reviewed, scientifically studied resource.
Clinically trialed and randomized. Sorry, I watched it.
Indeed.
There's some. What is the trial type that's the most like
double-blind?
No, there's like a meta-analysis of double-blind studies is I think considered the most rigorous research. But I watched the movie Luck the other night, and so we just have a randomizer.
Yes, I don't know what any of that means.
Have you seen Luck? On Apple TV with the cat and the Lucky Penny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's actually really cute. I have seen that.
Anyway, carry on.
Very cute. So I cannot contest. I cannot attest. Thank you. I cannot attest to the accuracy of any of these stories and/or claims. This is for pure entertainment purposes.
We're essentially the Kardashians of podcasting.
Exactly. Please don't add
just with smaller booties.
This. Speak for yourself.
I do need to do
I got
more
some
squats.
junk in this trunk. It's not from squats. It's from pizza.
or moving fluff from one place to another.
Yeah, it happens. All right. So
not any offense meant to the Kardashians. You're all lovely people, I'm sure.
Are they?
I don't know. I never watched the show.
I some of them are fine, some of them not so much. I digress. I'm here today to tell you, my dear, dear sister, 15 hilarious historical happenings that made this author cry with laughter. They didn't make me cry with laughter, but that's the title of the article.
She is not the author, to be clear.
I am not the author, to be clear. As always, I will link the links in the show notes, so you can go and read this at your leisure. Are you ready?
Always ready.
Always ready. So, number 1. During most of the Roman Empire, generals would keep several sacred chickens to consult whether they should go into battle or not. They would throw seed in front of the chickens, and if they ate, it was battle. If they did not eat, they abstained.
I feel like, number 1, this is a hey situation. And number 2, did you starve them before you threw the seed? Because I feel like you're kind of cooking the books there, sir.
I just really, really want to go into battle, so we're not going to feed these chickens.
For 5 days.
And they're going to fucking eat. They continued. Senator and naval commander, oh lordy, Roman names. Publius Claudius Pulcher? Question mark.
His mother didn't care for him.
Once went to consult the sacred chickens on whether they should attack, and when he saw that they were not eating, he exclaimed, "Since they do not want to eat, let them drink," and had them thrown into the sea. The naval battle was a catastrophe, with most of the Roman fleet obliterated, and he was accused of treason and heavily fined.
So that's why you listen to the sacred chickens, sir. You don't punish the chickens for doing their job.
I feel like we need sacred chickens in our life.
We do, Brianna. They're called nuggets, and they're the only thing our children will eat at dinner.
Is that sacrilegious to eat the sacred chickens in nugget form?
That's the only way we can pray to them.
We pray to our gods, the chicken nuggets.
Please satiate my children so they're not terrorists tonight.
Man. We're going to hell.
It's okay. I have a condo there.
It's fun. Number 2. The Persian king Xerxes punished the sea for ruining his bridge.
Oh, did he?
So
had throw rocks at it and yell. Is that how he punished the sea?
Kind of. So he tried to build a bridge across the Dardanelles, I think is how you pronounce it, to get to Greece faster, but a storm destroyed the bridge. Infuriated with the sea, Xerxes ordered his soldiers to punish it by whipping it with chains 300 times. and poking it with red-hot irons. Handcuffs were also tossed into the water to symbolize the sea's
Okay,
submission
so he
to
just
his
wanted to
authority.
get rid of his BDSM party the night before. He was like, guys, we're going to do this. It's fine. We're mad at the sea.
They're probably like, sorry, you want to do what now? He's like, yeah, whip it.
Can't we
And
just
I
go
wanna
talk to the
see
sacred chickens about this? What do you think?
I want to see you whip it.
Whip it.
Whip it good.
This is fun. We should do this more often.
I know, I like this. Okay, number 3. And so this is the one, when I was texting Elise, I was like, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but one of these, I like looked up a little bit more information on this person, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment. And they are very interesting. So I feel like we should do an entire episode on this person's life, but it'll take actual research. So
From both
we'll have
of
to like,
us?
huh?
We'll take research from both of us?
Oh, no. I research. I bring the
I'm the
razzle,
peanut
you bring the
gallery.
dazzle. I'm the razzle, you're the dazzle. So I do the research and you provide the color
I
commentary.
have all the jazz hands.
Ka-cha! Okay, so this next one is the con man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice and got away with it. Sold the Eiffel Tower.
Please tell me he sold it to the French government.
That would be even better. So, Count, they have this in quotation, so I'm not sure what that means. I need to do more research on this guy. Count Victor
He
Lustig.
just took a spray bottle.
No. Count Victor Lustig was a career criminal who posed as a member of the French government in order to hold a meeting at the Hôtel de Crillon. He invited business people from the French scrap metal industry to the hotel, where he told them that the Eiffel Tower would be torn down and sold for scraps due to faults and costly repairs. He initiated a bidding war, and the tower was sold to the highest bidder by Lustig himself. Who knows how, but he managed to carry this out twice. So he is just like an absolute con man. So think like
He cheats on his wife.
Ocean's. What?
He cheats on his wife, I'm just saying.
Oh, probably, I'm sure. So think like Ocean's 11 style.
Oh, well, if
cons.
he'd like George Clooney, then he does not cheat on his wife. He is single and available.
I do not know what he looks like. Let's look a picture of him up real quick.
You're going to have to post this on the...
I mean, he's giving kind of creepy.
He's giving like, let me talk to you about your childhood issues and then somehow exploit them to make them bad.
He's giving creep. But yeah, so I was intrigued by this story, so I was like, I'm just gonna put him into the old Google machine, see what pops up. I was sat listening to or reading about all of these different cons that he performs. So I'm like, I feel like this guy needs an entire episode devoted to him. But like I said, I'll have to do actual research and like type up.
I wonder if there's a movie on him. Maybe that's how we can make our millions. We can make a movie about him. Leonardo DiCaprio could play him.
I feel like, who do I think would play him? I feel like Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner would play him, I feel like.
Maybe. We'll have to think about this.
I feel like...
More to come, people.
Like, don't you think...
in your comments... Yes, but in your comments, place who you think should play him in our movie. And Brianna and I will screenwrite. Possibly our children will reenact some of this, and Blair will con people out of the Eiffel Tower.
There you go. Kevin Costner, and I don't even know if there is a female love interest, but I feel like I'm feeling like a Nicole Kidman situation.
Yes.
Costner and Kidman.
Costner.
So yes, more to come on that one, possibly. I don't know. Let us know in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in listening to. And when I talk about comments, I'm talking to you, Veronica, because I know that you are the only one who has actually posted a comment. So, comment again! Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Well, we're not actually buying, though. We still have more stories to talk about.
We do have more stories. I don't understand. I think I'm doing something wrong on TikTok. So when I post on Instagram, I post clips of the past episodes on like Reels, and they consistently get like 150 views, which in the grand scheme of things, for people who actually are on like Instagram and do it well, that's nothing. That's like drop in the bucket. But for me, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. 150 people saw
Veronica,
this.
how often do you play us?
Right. And our TikToks get 0 views. And like all of them, 0. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if I'm hashtagging wrong or what the deal
I
is,
don't know
but
how
someone
to
tell me how to
hashtag.
do
I just
TikTok
thought
better.
This is what you did.
Hashtag. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Someone help me. I don't need
Your
to
hair
be
looks great today. It's
viral,
all
but I want
fluffy.
at least a couple people to see them. Anyway, okay, number 4. During the
Neapolitan. Like the
no, not Neapolitan.
Napoleonic.
Napoleonic. Let's try this again.
Oh, wait.
During the
Trading time out.
Napoleonic.
Do you ever watch
Go on.
Oversimplified?
No, I've never seen
You
that.
should actually link it down here, but there is one on the Napoleonic Wars. So anyway, it's hilarious. It's great, like YouTube.
Is it a YouTube thing?
It's
or
a
is it
history-based
show, like
YouTube video, and he like has these weird characters, and he like does satire based on actual historical events.
Oh, okay. I would be interested in that. I will. What was it called? Oversimplified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but you have to link him down below.
Okay, I will.
So he gives us credit.
During the Napoleonic Wars, a French ship sank off the coast of Hartlepool, England. The only survivor was the captain's pet monkey, which he always dressed in a French military uniform. What are you doing?
Hartlepool.
Oh, I see what you did there.
He dressed as a what?
The local.
Huh? He dressed the monkey
as a monk. Captain got a pet monkey, dresses him in a French military uniform. Everybody else sank on the ship except for the monkey. Monkey survived.
He's an officer now.
An officer and a gentleman.
Probably not.
Monkey.
Probably still throws poop.
Locals freaked out because the law was that any French military found on British soil must be executed as a spy. So they ordered the standard punishment for spies, death by hanging.
Except a monkey?
Instead of 9, the monkey just kept climbing up the rope because it was a monkey. They have since embraced their failure at executing a tiny primate for military espionage. Their local football team is nicknamed the Monkey Hangers.
Okay.
Because it was a monkey. Number 5. I also quite like this one. So listen up. Straighten up. Ancient Korea has special recording officials. They recorded something that was called the Veritable Records of Joseon Dynasty. So it's these records, right? From like way back in like
the day before there was a North and a South Korea.
Yeah, like the 1300s. So these officials, it was their job to record everything. They were considered separate from government, so the emperor at the time wasn't allowed to give them orders or tell them not to record something. He actually couldn't even see what they were writing down. So their job was to record things as accurately as possible, and they recorded everything.
Huh? Tell me they just doodled.
Just doodles. But of course, kings and emperors, the emperor would try to change what they would write down or moderate it. On one occasion, King Taejong in the 15th century fell off his horse while hunting. The recorders nearby wrote it down. The emperor insisted that it be removed from the record and even tried to have the report destroyed. And this led to nonsense as the emperor kept destroying their work, but the recorders kept copying it and hiding it in increasingly obscure places. And then also note that the king was trying to destroy the record. So they would write down, the king fell off our horse. Now he's trying to make us delete it. Now he destroyed it, but we made a copy. He destroyed that one, we made another copy. So there's just this long record of him like trying and failing to delete that he fell off his horse from history.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Sir, that is a good day.
Right? So a few hundred years later, and the only thing the emperor is famous for is trying to hide the fact that he fell off his horse.
He became a horse's ass.
Literally, he became a horse's ass. But how hilarious would that be? Just I'm sure these recorders were just absolutely trolling the king by the end of it.
They were the first people like stalking someone on social media.
They were the first trolls. Oh, goodness. Okay. Number 6.
How many are there? 13?
75. 75, 15, but they get shorter as we go.
I don't care. I'm having a blast.
Long ones from the front.
They can put us on 2 times speed. It's fine.
No, I'll chop out the unneeded parts, except for that little symphony we had at the front. That's definitely staying in. All right, number 6. Spanish chicken farmer Juan
Why are there
Pajol
so
Garcia.
many chickens? Is he the farmer of the sacred chickens?
There is quite the chicken theme now that you mention it. Interesting. I didn't pick that up at first.
Trend. We should put it in an Excel
spreadsheet. It all comes back to the chicken, my friend. It all comes back to the chicken. Spanish chicken farmer Juan Garcia tried to become a spy for MI5, but they rejected him. He then applied to become a spy for the Nazi SS, who accepted him. Doesn't care who he's spying for. He just wants to spy. I'm a man and I love to spy, and I gotta do it. The SS gave him the order to start a spy network in London, but instead he set up a shop in Lisbon. There, he started feeding the Nazi commanders a bunch of horseshit intel. That's the quote from the article. I did not make that up. That's what the actual article says.
Mom, don't listen.
Don't listen, Mom. Every once in a while, he would be confronted about bad intel, and he would blame it on one of his fictional subordinates. MI5 became aware of his existence and enrolled him in their ranks. And that's when his bullshittery started getting serious. He was given the nickname Garbo in reference to the best actor in the world, Greta Garbo. Garbo who? His most important work was on Operation Fortitude. He helped convince Nazi high command that the invasion of Normandy was a diversion. A diversion. Officers believed a larger army was due to land in Calais? For his efforts, he was awarded the Iron Cross, authorized by Hitler himself. He was also given an MBE medal from the British King, making him one of the few people who received medals from both sides.
I don't know if that's something to brag about.
He later faked his death and fled to Venezuela after the war, where he ran a bookshop. Again, I feel like this guy has had an interesting life.
That's pod after the man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice. Can we remember this guy's name? You did what, sir? You got told no, so you went and pretended to be a spy. Then you actually became a spy, and then both sides rewarded you?
And then I faked my own death and went to Venezuela, baby.
We should all go to Venezuela, except I think there's a lot of unrest there, so maybe not.
I feel like as 2 white girls, probably not.
Who don't speak Spanish or Portuguese.
You do speak Spanish.
I don't speak Portuguese.
Gonna change that. You know, the other day Nora asked me, she's like, Mommy, when I was a baby I was in your belly, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, how did I get out? And Chris and I have both agreed that we want to be like anatomically correct where we can be. And so I said, well, you know, when mommies have babies, they can either have them come out their vaginas, or if they need to, a doctor will cut their belly open to get the baby out. And she like looks at me, she's like, I came out of your vagina? I'm like,
yes, you did.
She's like, that's disgusting. And then she runs downstairs and she's like, Luke, we came out of mommy's vagina where her pee comes from. I'm like, oh, great.
And here we are.
And
you tell her that pee actually comes from your urethra and not your vagina? Or is that too much for her? That's my problem. My kids ask me questions. I start like getting into. I'm like, oh, let me tell you, and I start talking about it and like the pathophysiology, and then I get too in depth, and they're just like, what?
That just makes me think of that story you told me about that very young mother you had on the ward at one point that did not believe you that there were 3 holes down there.
Oh yeah, I was like, there's one for pee, one for babies, and one for poop.
Like, no.
And they're supposed to be in a triangle after babies. They kind of all get switched around sometimes, but
it's just a big jumble.
It's real sexy.
All right, number 7, the Kettle War. It was the I'll just do that. It was the 8th of October, 1784. The Dutch kingdom and the then Holy Roman Empire had a short naval battle.
Again, train.
The only casualty.
The then Holy Roman Empire. They're no longer holy or no longer Roman.
No longer holy.
Okay.
Just then the then Holy Roman Empire had a short naval battle. The only casualty was a kettle full of soup that got hit by a cannonball from the one shot that was fired. Hence the Kettle War. All right, number 8. In 1945, the Americans were pushing through Germany. Commander General Eisenhower sent General Patton a message instructing him not to take the city of Trier because it would require 4 divisions to seize the city. Patton sent a message back saying, "Have taken Trier with 2 divisions. What do you want me to do? Give it back?" Sassy.
I can't do that thing with like the slapping hands. I'm just gonna snap.
Number 9. President Jimmy Carter was attacked by a rabbit while paddling in a rowboat.
Poor Jimmy Carter. I feel like he tried
Poor
so
Jimmy
hard.
Carter.
He just didn't make it happen.
The president was minding his own business, rowing in a small pond and fishing. But why? Why was he just like rowing around in a pond?
Minding his own business. That's a hilarious thing to say.
I'm envisioning like the Notebook where he's like
through
like,
a
really
pond
going for
of,
it.
like the birds.
Yes. Let's see. The president was minding his own business, rowing around a small pond and fishing when a rabbit left the shore and swam deliberately towards the boat, apparently crazed. Carter splashed the rabbit with water, driving it away from the boat, according to the press secretary, Jody Powell. Upon closer inspection, the animal turned out to be a rabbit. Not one of your cutesy Easter Bunny types of rabbits, but one of those big, splayed foot things that we called swamp rabbits when I was growing up. Carter's political enemies used the incident as fodder to show that he was weak and claimed that his response to the rabbit attack incited the Soviet Union to invade Afghanistan the same year.
Stop.
That feels like a stretch.
Let's just say, number 1, you did not get attacked. It swam in your general vicinity. You splashed it and it went away. Number 3, it's a rabbit. It is not the Monty Python rabbit.
I was going to say, it's giving Monty Python.
It's got teeth. Oh, poor Mr. Carter. Poor
I also
Carter.
love that his political rivals were like, well, that's why the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan.
A rabbit swam to his boat and he wouldn't let it in. What did he do? Cuddle it? It was a swamp rabbit.
We have, so outside of my office building, we have a fairly large pond.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's got a walking path around it. So when it's nice out, I'll go out and do a couple laps just to stretch my legs. The other day, I'm walking, and all of a sudden, I see something paddling through the water, holding, like, a little bundle of sticks in its mouth, like, doing one of those. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a beaver! So I, like, get out my phone, I'm taking a picture of it, and then it, like, zoops underneath this, like, little, like, what I assumed was a dam. And so I was so excited, I went back to my office, and I was talking with another guy that I work with, and I was like, there's beavers in the pond! And I show him a picture, and he goes, yeah, that's a muskrat. That's not a beaver. I'm like, oh, that's slightly less cute. But we have muskrats in our pond.
I don't even know what a muskrat is, so.
It's like a beaver in the front, rat in the back.
Ew.
It's not nearly
so it's
as
a
cute.
rat with big teeth.
Kinda, yeah. I'm not going to read number 10 because I think it's boring.
I want to hear what it is, though.
Okay, I'll read it to
You
you.
don't have to read the whole thing. Just read the title.
Well, it's like 2 sentences. Nobles of the Holy Roman Empire once congregated to discuss a dispute, but ended up collapsing a wooden floor in a citadel due to their weight. 60 to 100 people ended up drowning in a latrine cesspit below the floor.
You don't think that's interesting? Can you imagine if that showed up on Fox News? We don't have an obesity epidemic. What?
What a way to go. Drowning in a cesspool.
You went out filthy, you dirty animal.
You dirty
A
animal.
filthy animal. What's the saying?
You filthy animal.
Yeah.
You filthy animal. Okay. Number 11. During the height of the Cold War, somewhere deep in the halls of the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, intelligence officers came up with the idea to parachute thousands of extra-large condoms labeled medium onto the Soviets. The idea being the operation would undermine the morale of people living in the USSR by implying the men of the US were superior.
I feel like what they're saying here is we let the guy who we hired for the MWR to make the jokes decide what the attack plan was going to be. And that's how this went down.
Guys, I know. We're going to send them condoms, but they're going to say extra large so that they know that we're hung. It's very much like locker room.
Who let that guy in
My
charge?
dick's bigger than yours.
Women would not come up with this solution, by the way.
No. Women would not be in the middle of a Cold War to begin with.
We would have hugged it out, had a couple glasses of wine, and then all been fine, and helped each other out with our children.
It's true. Anyway,
Moving on.
number 12.
12.
Mary Toff convinced a load of doctors and clergymen, including the personal doctor of the King of England, that she could give birth to rabbits. No other context.
So chickens and rabbits seem to be a theme here.
Chicken and rabbits. Maybe this was Easter. When was this published? Maybe this was like an Easter situation as well. I don't know. Number 13. Back when India was under British colonial rule, there was a little problem with cobras. The obvious solution.
You remember that?
Ricky Tikki Tavi, yes! Oh my gosh, we used to sit on the long car rides and we would watch Ricky Tikki Tavi and we would watch He-Man and She-Ra.
Mom and Dad, I love you, but knowing what I know now about car safety, bungee cording a 15-pound television to a folded down van seat, not a safe technique.
If we got in the accident, that thing was just a wrecking ball through the car.
Pound Puppies, Ricky Tikki Tavi, and He-Man and She-Ra.
Yep, on repeat.
Oh, and Bruno.
Oh, yes, Bruno. Do you remember when we were driving down the highway and I, like, literally going like 60 or 70 miles an hour and I opened the sliding door?
That doesn't happen anymore.
That seems like a safety feature over, like, a oversight. I was like, what happens if I just open this?
That's
Mom,
why Nissan Quests are no longer in production.
I've never seen Mom jump so fast. Which, thinking about it now, if when my children did that, oh my God, I would have a heart attack. Like, the risk of them falling out of a moving vehicle like that, like, I cannot believe.
A 5-point harness, dear.
Yeah, where was I just up walking around the van, too?
Car seats, I was in a car seat in the front seat when I was a baby, an infant. Okay? Like, let's be real.
Oh, let's be so for real.
Do you remember when we were driving down one of the country roads and Mom hit ice and we hit a barbed wire fence and
oh yeah, I remember that.
Van. The only thing I've ever done with my children in the car is I ran over a shopping cart one time. Sorry. And
explain.
Because it had the tire well and I couldn't see over it. And it was like right in my bike, like right where the tire well was. And then a
whole ass shopping cart?
I didn't run it. I break it. I bumped it.
Oh, like you bumped into it.
I backed up and didn't know it was there.
Was it under your car?
No. And then in the same parking lot, literally a month later.
How the hell did you do that?
With my kids, I backed up and I couldn't see this guy and I backed into him and I totally destroyed his front bumper, but he didn't have insurance. So he was like, we're not going to exchange stuff. And my car was fine. I was like, I feel like a bad person, but you should have insurance.
Yeah, something similar happened to me. My car was parked and I was sitting in it. I don't know what I was doing, why I was just sitting in my parked car, but whoever's parked in front of me backed up and aggressively and rammed into me. And he didn't have insurance. And he got out and this was a total junker clunker of a car that I didn't really give two shits about. And he was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, please don't call please, I don't have insurance. He's like, I'll just give you cash to cover any repairs. He's like, how much do you want? And I was like, $400? He's like, done. And he went into the ATM, got $400 and gave it to me. And I'm like, not getting this fixed. I'm just going to pocket this. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, at least, how many cars did I go through and wreck before Mom and Dad finally bought you a brand new car? And they were like, you're on your own, Elise. You have to buy your own car. Because I had the Oldsmobile, which I wrecked. Then I wrecked Mom's.
To be clear, I was not given a new car.
No, none of us had a new car. And,
yes. I was not purchased a new car.
I had the Oldsmobile.
The Oldsmobile that came from
an auction, and we had to make sure there weren't drugs in the back of it.
Yes.
And only two windows went down and there was no air conditioning.
It had crushed velvet seats.
It was great. Bright ball.
It was nice.
And then I drove Mom's van. And then I drove.
And then crashed Mom's van.
Well, that was ice. That wasn't my fault. And then. Oh, wait.
No,
the Oldsmobile was the ice on the bridge.
No.
Well, I did crash Mom's van into a tree outside the pond. But that was also ice. But I also they bought me that used Chevy Cobalt, and I got T-boned in an intersection. That one I'm lucky I didn't get hurt.
Yeah, you had that one for a week too,
right? And I had gone to have lunch with Mom because I was doing clinicals downtown, and I was driving in Suburban, ran a red light, and T-boned me. And God is so I remember sitting in the car spinning and being like, please no one hit me, please no one hit me. And then I got over on the side of the street and a parking meter stopped me. And I ended up getting pneumonia or bronchitis or something from having to stand outside waiting on the police officers. And after that car, I remember calling mom and being like, Mom, I've been in a wreck. And I literally had it a week. And she's like, Elise, that's not funny. And I was like, Mom, I need you to come get me.
This was not my fault, I promise.
I think that was like, oh. And then after that, Dad was like, you got to have a little skin in the game here, kid. Like, I'll co-sign with you, but you're on your own for the payments.
Third time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. All right.
Which is funny because I did drive. I remember I got a couple of speeding tickets on the way home from college. Like, I drove fast, but I don't feel like I was a particularly unsafe driver. Just like really unfortunate things would happen to me. Like, massive raccoons would run out in front of me on country roads, and I'd just try to stop, and they would like take my bumper off, and like, this doesn't happen to normal people.
Just imagine this raccoon like taking your rubber and be like, I'm taking it, bitch.
Well, and literally that happened, and so Dad paid to fix it, and then the next week I got into a fender bender, and I was just like, I'll get another job. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm just lucky. Like that one though, when I got T-bone though, I'm lucky I wasn't hurt.
Yeah, you actually are really lucky you didn't get hurt.
Anyway, moving on.
Back to the cobras in India. When India was under British colonial rule, there was a little problem with cobras. The obvious solution was to put a bounty on them. The only problem was that the price for each cobra the British were offering was greater than the cost of breeding and raising a cobra. The result was people breeding tons of snakes to claim the bounty. When the government realized what was happening, they scrapped the whole program, and the people raising the now worthless cobras set them loose.
I feel like I've heard this before.
And made the problem worse.
This sounds pretty much like British imperialism.
I was going to say, as a lot of government policies end up doing. Number 14. A 1631 publication of the Bible caused an uproar when it was discovered that one of the 10 Commandments had been misprinted to read, "Thou shalt commit adultery."
That explains so much.
Whoops.
Everyone has just been reading the wrong version of the Bible. America, we can fix this.
We can fix this. All right, last one. Number 15. Also, rabbit themed.
Chickens and rabbits.
Chickens and rabbits. Oh my. Napoleon was once forced to flee from an army of rabbits.
Oh.
Also, Napoleon, a theme. All right, number 15. Napoleon was once forced to flee from an army of rabbits. In July of 1807, Napoleon was on a rabbit hunt to celebrate the signing of a treaty to end the war between the French Empire and Imperial Russia. Depending on the story you hear, Napoleon's chief of staff brought about 100 to 3,000, which I feel like is a broad.
How many suitcases did you bring, man?
3,000 rabbits. That's a lot of rabbits. For the hunt, which were caged along the fringes of a grassy field. Allegedly, once the rabbits were released, they all charged at Napoleon and his men, instead of running away to hide. Napoleon was forced to flee in his coach and abandoned the field to the bunnies. Apparently, the rabbits had been sourced from local farms and were tame. So instead of seeing Napoleon as a hunter, the hungry rabbits saw him as the waiter to bring out the day's food. Can you imagine just standing in a field and there's just 3,000 bunnies like racing at you? 3,000 of anything running at you would be terrifying.
My therapist tells me I need to breathe.
That's it. Those are 15 hilarious incidents throughout history that may or may not have made us cry with laughter.
I don't know. My head was thrown back laughing, and listen.
You did throw your head back and laugh at one point.
A couple of times, I think.
So I'm going to count that as a win.
The chickens.
Oh, the chickens. Chickens and the rabbits.
3,000 rabbits.
They get you.
And then
they get you every time.
3,000 rabbits became 6,000 because they do like to multiply.
Facts. All right. Well, thanks so much, guys, for joining us today. We will see you again here soon. But until then, make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get podcasts. And make sure that you download the episode too, because that is what helps us the most in terms of stats and getting this podcast out to other people who might also think it's interesting. And then finally, follow us on social media. We are at Chit-Chat Cheers Podcast on Instagram, TikTok. And then also, if you would like to watch the video of this instead of the audio, we're on YouTube as well. So go check us out.
And let us know which person you want to hear most about next episode. The gentleman who stole the Eiffel Tower.
The spy.
Yes, the spy who got awards from both sides during World War II. So, all right. We love you guys.
We love you so much. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will catch you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.